welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be about how to have a productive summer. So obviously it's the summer holidays for most people now when this has gone up, like even people who are still in school for the full length of the year should have broken up now in the UK, which means that we have the 6 weeks holidays ahead of us and everyone's like, okay, we're done with school, what do we do with ourselves now? Unless you're in like year 12 when you've really got like stuff to be doing, there isn't really a lot you can be doing over the summer holidays, but people still want to be productive, which I agree with. So let's get started. Number one thing you have to do is you have to think, what do I mean by productive summer? So some people might want to be academically productive. They might want to learn new things, you know, learn a new language, for example, research things that perhaps they are not on their syllabuses or on their specifications, you know, do some future learn courses, I don't know. Pursue academic things, which is completely fair enough. If you are an academic person, you love to learn, absolutely go for it. Some people, like myself, would consider a productive summer, you know, a summer where I'm relaxing because honestly I'm a bit done with academia at this point in time. Travelling a lot for me is the number one measure of how productive I'm being and how many plans I have and how many things I get to do and see. That is how I'm measuring my productive summer, because for me, I'm in between A-levels and university. University is going to be very intense. It's going to be 4 years of work. So this is kind of my last blast ever, really, before I go to university, then I go into the job market. So for me, as much as I love learning and as much as I am, you know, like reading books and things, I'm taking my time. I'm not forcing myself to get through the books because I'm going to have a reading list as long as my arm by the end of the summer. So my idea of productive is travelling, seeing my friends, clearing out my room, just getting myself back on track, doing all the stuff that I wanted to do during A-levels but didn't have the time to do. For other people, productive might just be relaxing. It might just be a time where you really just want to focus on yourself. You want to get yourself back on track. You want to find that sort of essence of yourself that you've lost over, you know, the academic year. You might just sort of want to take some time out, you know, watch some Netflix. That too is productive. I think everybody's idea of productive is going to be different. For me personally, academic productivity in the summer is just not really a priority. I mean, yes, I'm an academic person, but my life is not academia. I like doing other stuff, and as much as I love learning, I also love traveling and seeing new things, and I think that is a way of learning as well in itself. So it really depends on what you want to do. But my number one tip, obviously, if you want to be productive, is you need to write down your goals, your aims, like what you want to do. So for me, I've always just used a planner. This one, obviously, I haven't used yet. It looks very nice and tidy. This is from August, but I thought I'd show you this one because my other one is super battered. So it's just a yearly planner. This one is in Spanish because I'm extra. It's from Mr. Wonderful Shop. I'm pretty sure they do have English ones too. But yeah, each day has just got a little section. It has little motivational quotes, and you can just write down the list of things that you want to do each day. And for me, that has always been the best way of productivity. I have not made a to-do list since I've broken up from school, and it's been quite nice. It's been quite liberating, but at the same time, it is very useful to be able to see at a glance what you have planned that day. So obviously you guys will have seen over there I have my wall calendar, and that has got each day what I'm doing, where I'm doing it at, which means that I can see at a glance what my plans are and stay organised whilst also enjoying myself. But if you want to be productive academically, then of course I would recommend a planner. You could maybe get Ruby Granger's study planner, just a to-do list like the Momentum add-on on the Chrome website browser thing. Wow, I sound like a granny. Is also very useful, or even just a sheet of paper if that's how you want to do it. If you want to do like academically productive things, or you have a list of things you need to do, so for example for me, videos I need to film, errands I need to run, complaint letters I need to send after that horrible flight back home from Naples, then that is the best way to do it realistically. Obviously, if you want to have a productive summer but you don't want to be tied down by to-do lists, which I totally relate to because my life was to-do lists for like 6 months before exams, then don't. But if you're worried about forgetting things, then it might even be worth just getting a whiteboard or something you can put in your room and just write down things that you need to remember to do. But I do think to-do lists can actually be helpful to structure your day and to make sure that you don't lose track of the days like I've been doing. It is very useful to do that. My next thing like that I would say to do is to think generally about how long your summer is, and if you really want to be productive and you really have like a set list of things that you need to have achieved by the end of the summer, make sure you budget your time well. So hopefully, you know, you might be doing a bit of traveling, maybe going on holiday or seeing friends or family. So what you need to do is you need to blank out those times, because those are times that to be spent enjoying yourself rather than worrying about lists of stuff to do. But say for example, if you have 16 books to read over the summer, which is so relatable because I'm probably going to have more than that to read over September, but that's another story. Then you can think, right, well, I've got 6 weeks off, so if I start with perhaps 3 a week, then that is a realistic goal to manage. How long do I need to spend reading each day? And make sure you put in a bit of a contingency plan, so make sure you give yourself space, because over the summer things are more relaxed, your plans are going to change, sometimes you're just going to want to sit and watch Netflix, and that is okay. That is productive too, because you are following your own interests. You know, make sure you're just giving yourself a bit of slack, because obviously in revision season you don't really have room to be like slacking about, so if you miss a day you're a bit screwed. Whereas in the summer, if you want to have a day where you just sleep and watch Netflix, have it. Your body needs it, evidently. If you want to sleep until 11, do it. Your body needs it. Like, just do what you want to do. But if you really, really, really want to structure your summer, then make sure you are giving yourself plenty of room to move around and manage things. With productive summers as well, I would say that try not to like split yourself up too much, because I think it's very easy to be like, I want to read 25 books, I want to get through 7 Netflix series, I want to travel to 1800 countries, like learn 7 new languages. Like, it's not possible. So maybe do like a mind map or a list of things that you would like to pursue, and just let your brain sort of naturally take you to the areas that you're drawn to that day. So for example, I kind of want to learn a bit of a new language, but some days I'm feeling like maybe French, some days I'm like Italian. At the moment I'm more on the French hype, trying to learn a bit of French, but I don't push myself to do it. If that day I feel like doing a bit of it, I will. If I don't, then I will do something else on my list. So I'm trying to read, trying to learn a bit of French, and also trying to rebrand my channel and sort of focus on my YouTube a little bit more while I have the time. So for me, it all depends on what I wake up and feel like doing. Don't like split yourself up too much, because then you'll find that your days feel just as stressful as they did in revision season, just with non-revision stuff, if you know what I mean. So make sure that you're not being harsh on yourself, you're not setting unrealistic expectations, and that you're enjoying your summer, because the whole point of summer is to relax and enjoy the weather that we're having. Like, when do we ever get weather like this? If you want to sit outside and chill, do it, girl, do it. Another tip I would have about productive summers is try not to isolate yourself. Obviously, a lot of people will see productivity in terms of how many hours you spend sat at a desk, how many hours you spend working on things for yourself. But realistically, when you look at productivity, you could even argue that seeing your friends is productive. You need to be looking after all the parts of yourself, living your best life. And I think, you know, it can be very easy, if you have a big list of things to do in the summer, to sort of shut your friends away and pretend that they don't exist and just focus on you, which obviously is very important to have some me time. But by the same token, make sure that you're still reaching out, you're still living a social life, because that is so important for your own health, and you will feel so much more relaxed and refreshed if you're in good company than if you're alone. Because when you're alone with your thoughts about results day are going to start creeping in, thoughts like about just everything, like damaging thoughts, are just going to start creeping in. Whereas when you're with your friends, that takes your mind off the stress, and just sort of, you know, it just helps you sort of see everything in perspective rather than isolating yourself, which can be very dangerous. And of course, some of you are going to be applying to university in October or in January, so that obviously does need to be a productive summer. With university applications, don't be daunted, because honestly you have way more time than you think. But that being said, this summer is your best chance, especially if you're applying to Oxbridge, to start exploring your subject. I'm not saying that you need to be reading a book about your subject every day. No way. I read a few while I was on holiday. Like, I read a few by the pool. I watched quite a lot of documentaries, podcasts while I was tidying my room. Personal statement, that was I started it really early, but I got very stressed about it because I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life, and I didn't know whether I wanted to do German and Spanish or Spanish and English, so I let the summer sort of decide for me. So I did a bit of English reading, I did a bit of Spanish, did a bit of German, and slowly but surely my interests did start to sort of conflate, and I started to understand what I wanted to do with my life. So make sure that you're not pressuring yourself to write your personal statement too much. So many people that I know didn't even start writing theirs till like 2 weeks before the deadline, and they still got into Oxford, so don't even stress. I just set myself a manageable chunks, so I would say like try and read a book a week and maybe add the book from last week onto the personal statement. By the end of the summer I had like a 4,000 word personal statement or something stupid, and then as the school year went on, with my teacher's help, I cut it down and eventually it was ready to go, and it worked, obviously. Oh, by the way, if you want a video about Oxbridge applications, let me know. I will not be filming it until after results day, because I really don't want to start talking to you about how to get into Oxford if I don't get my grades. But if you would like a video like that, give this a thumbs up and let me know. But yeah, university is a very stressful thing, but do remember that the summer isn't the only time you've got to do it, but take advantage of the summer because it is a good time to get started. And finally, I would say summer is a good time productivity wise to sort of have an audit of your things and your life and sort of clear out. So I'm not saying that you need to like have a fresh start, new me, but I fully intend on having a complete clear out of my room. It's so cluttered and there's so much stuff that I don't need, and you know that it's cluttered when it's getting messy really quickly because there's just not enough space to put your stuff. So I'm going to have a full-on clear out, I'm going to clean it, I'm going to get rid of all the rubbish that I don't need in time for university. And it's really, really good actually for your headspace and for your peace of mind to be spending time in a clean environment. So I would definitely recommend doing that if you haven't already. Just taking a day, maybe like bring your friends over and get them to help you, and just working through it at your own pace. I would really recommend like cleaning it as well as cleaning out. So take your stuff out and give it to homeless shelters, domestic abuse shelters, charities. But also at the same time, I would definitely recommend like actually cleaning your room, getting rid of the dust and things that have accumulated. Maybe don't burn your books or anything yet because you don't know what's going to happen on results day, but you know, make sure that you're getting all that academic rubbish out your mind and clearing your mind, living in a fresh headspace and your best life, you know. I hope this video was useful. Obviously it's very hard to quantify what is a productive summer. For me, I think it just depends on your personal goals, your personal aims, and also if you go back to school and you feel like you've had the least productive summer ever, who cares? Like, it's the summer, you can relax. The summer is made to be unproductive. If you want to spend days upon end just watching Netflix, go for it. I mean, I personally like being productive, I like doing stuff, but I've also been very unproductive the last month because I just want to be, you know, sometimes you just want to be relaxing and not worrying about what's next on your to-do list, and that is totally okay as well. So make sure you strike a fine balance between the two because you don't want to wear yourself out, but at the same time I understand that not being productive can make you feel quite sluggish, so it's just a case of getting both right. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a huge thumbs up and comment down below if you have any more video requests about summer or just any like non-revision requests, because obviously now my channel can be kind of a bit broader. I'm excited to venture into new content. Yeah, that's everything I think. I will see you very soon with a new video. Bye guys. Mwah.